So whether you're a civilian just interested in protecting the wife and kids on the home front, or you're part of a tactical team, military, law enforcement, whatever, you got to think through a whole bunch of different considerations. On weapon system selection, you got to determine the lethality of the round. You got to think about ammo capacity. You got to think about accessories so that you can have lots of illumination in the event of low light circumstances. You got to think about the wieldability of how easy is it to drive that weapon system in and around structures. There's a bunch of things to deal with, but people keep asking me about one that I'm tired of talking about. It's called overpenetration, and while you should be a little concerned, you need to back off of this one, and let me tell you why. It's annoying. Everyone asks me, overpenetration, overpenetration, overpenetration. All right, so this is my frustration about everybody's asking overpenetration, overpenetration. What it is it's the witch hunt for a magical bullet. What overpenetration is basically it means once you shoot a round, it goes through what you wanted it to, but doesn't go any farther. So if I shot a person who had broken into my house, a lawful shootout, yay, goes through a wall and then continues to go through a wall and then kills a kid 3 rooms over, that's a problem of overpenetration, and that's your fault. So the idea to solve the overpenetration dilemma is create a round that will go through flesh or go through a wall, but it won't go through more walls, right? The problem is this bullet doesn't exist. Some bullets do a lot better than others, frangible ammo or hollow tips, where the idea is once it hits a barrier, because it's traveling fast and it's almost already broken up for you, it'll disintegrate once it hits a hard surface. And some of them do a pretty darn good job. But the thing is they're all going to penetrate through a few pieces of sheetrock. They just are. The whole point of a bullet is to penetrate. So really when you're saying, hey, I want something that is really good, good round for killing, but it won't over-penetrate. What you're asking is, I want a non-penetrating projectile. It's kind of like you can't get there. It's like, I want a really cold, hot cocoa. Well, I want a really round triangle. I'm like, you can't do that. The whole point of a round is to penetrate. And you say, I don't want it to penetrate this penetrating projectile. I'm like, dude, come on, you can't do that. It's physics. You want it to penetrate or not? Yes or no? Now, that's not completely fair because of the frangible ammo and whatnot. It's designed to break up more to solve that problem, but still, it's not solving the problem. It's just mitigating it some. It's still designed to, it's still going through rib cage. It's designed to penetrate. And how does the bullet know between drywall and rib cage? And the fact of the matter, it doesn't. There isn't a magical bullet. Therefore, overpenetration is always going to be a problem. You cannot get around it, and you just have to know your universal firearm safety rule. Know your target, what's beyond it, to the left, to the right of it, and in front of it. Ultimately, you're responsible for every bullet you fire until the round stops moving. Right? So you got to know where those rounds are going. Every bullet, it said, has a lawyer attached to it. You got to answer for that. Now, if you're in a home defense situation, the good news is though, you're worried about these overpenetration, you get in a gunfight with somebody who breaks in and that goes through them or misses them and hits your kids in the other room. Well, you failed way before the fight actually happened. Your home, your castle, you get to set up defenses however you want. You get to set the battlefield before you ever get in any fight. So imagine all the places that you could get in a fight and calculate, okay, well, it'd probably go down here, here, or at here and here, and make sure that your sectors never fall in so that if you miss the bad guy, it hits your kids 2 rooms over. Or if they missed you or hit you, it wouldn't continue to go and hit somebody else somewhere in the house. You get to pre-plan where those fights will happen and ensure that the sectors are clear, because no matter what, you have to deal with the problem of overpenetration. Shut up about it. You got too many other variables that are far more important. I already listed them at the beginning of the video, and those are good things to deal with because this is a problem that doesn't really have a final solution that's going to be apart from, hey, make sure you know your target, what's beyond it, the left or the right, but plan accordingly. When in doubt for a home defense situation, make sure you try to get as low as you can and try to shoot up So that, therefore, if you miss, it's kind of going up into the walls way up above you and not continuing to go through. And your exterior wall should be able to stop it, most of them being, concrete or brick, something that's going to stop around that's already been going through multiple different barriers, so you're not having to worry as much about neighbors. Now, tactical teams have to worry about this over-penetration problem as well. But again, it's not answered with a magical bullet. And you think about all the tactical teams going around, they're usually using AR-15s, M4 carbines. Now, AR, it's going to over-penetrate. The old wisdom was it's so light and it's so fast. Once it hits something, it's just going to break to pieces. And that was the theory, but, through just testing and through shooting it in and around structures, people are finding everything over-penetrates. Tactical teams, as they're moving through, alpha teams got to know where Bravo team is, right? So if Bravo team basically circles around, gets on the other side of this wall, and Alpha team makes entry into the room and then shoots through this wall and hurts someone in Alpha team, well, there's a big tactical failure. You have to be able to move with coordination in and around structures to ensure that your sectors are clear from buddies that may be on the other side of the structures. There's a part of a movie, Sicario, and in the beginning of the movie, Sicario, I laughed out loud about this. They were all in this SWAT van. They were about to drive the van through a living room of a house, and the initial team was going to make entry. But right before they did that, they showed kind of like a panorama shot of the house, and there was another tactical team making entry at the rear of the house, which meant Alpha's clearing from the front, Bravo's clearing from the back, and they're making entry simultaneously, which means they're going to be in a Polish ambush. And immediately I thought, over-penetration, everyone's going to die. Fratricide, fratricide, fratricide. This is a big tactical fail right here. But I laughed out loud at that part. You can't do that. You got to keep control of where everyone is. Know their sectors of fire, right? This has been a big rant. Quit asking me about somebody's going to ask me about over-penetration. I'm just going to snap. I'm going to come through the screen and I'm going to strangle you for asking me about over-penetration. Know your target, what's beyond to the left or the right of it, right? And shut up about over-penetration. All right, hey, train hard, train smart, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.